Alrighty, so I am back. We are back, and today's video, I gotta talk about tuning the damn controller because there's so many ways of tuning it, and you gotta be precise of what you're doing, and you gotta really know what you're doing, and you also gotta know what you desire. What have I done? Um, I lowered the uh, the amp on a battery from 100 to a 50. I lowered the current on a bike, meaning that would be on the motor, down to 50%. And that's about it. And I easily hit 53 miles an hour, no problem, couple of seconds. It's ridiculous that the power and the burst in a bike. It's just completely different beast, different bike, different everything, different feeling. Now you feel all the loose parts, the ends. I gotta tighten up my rear axle because I sometimes hear it when I accelerate hard as if it was moving in a dropout. So I gotta make sure that is tight. I do have the torque screws that keeps my dropouts nicely tightly locked and closed. So I know that's not an issue. It's just I just think that this motor has so much kick right now that these dropouts are barely holding. And again, if you look at the frame I have, it's physically impossible. But at these accelerations, everything is possible, and there is a movement that is possible. So what I will do is I will tighten the screws, and since I have so much torque, I will be paying more attention. Now, in regards to yesterday, we were charged at 84%. I believe it was 84.4, and I considered that as a fully charged bike, 100%. And the settings that I had is the ones that I just told you. And I was able to hit the 53-mile range speed, and I did a little bit 12.7 miles, and I went from 84 to 77. That means that I will be able to do about 25 miles at the current adjustments and at the current speed, because I wasn't babying the throttle. I was literally going back and forth on my street, and it's a steep hill, and it was not a challenge, but I wanted to see how the bike performs, how hot is it going to get, so on and so forth. Unfortunately, I cannot throw any numbers right now because I don't have IR gun, heat gun. What I mean by infrared gun, where you point a laser at a subject or object, God, and it will tell you the temperature. Now, mind you, that I've read and I've heard that there are motors, which should be most of them, that will operate normally at 212 Fahrenheit. So 180 to 212, it's just a regular operation. So it might be hot to the touch or whatever it is. I don't know. I know that I did 12.7 miles, not babysitting the throttle, being aggressive, because obviously I wasn't going anywhere. I was just using the same, mile going back and forth. Pretty much I was crossing the entire island. I was going from one end to another, where the surface was flat, and of course half of it was up the hill, and the motor was hot to touch. Yes, hotter than before. That's understandable. I was very happy with the speed. The top speed was ridiculous. The torque was ridiculous. Even when I lowered the battery 50% and the motor, I didn't lower the motor. It was the battery. It was the current, right? That's what I lowered. So next thing for me to lower, it would be lowering the this. So if you look in Kelly's application, there's a speed forward maximum, right? And speed in reverse. So of course reverse I got 0, but forward I have this high speed, which is your gears, right? If you have a switch 1, 2, 3, so it's your high speed, your mid-range speed, and your low speed. So when you program your switch, right, your gear switch, it will ask you. It gives you an option saying speed 1, you know, do, let's say, 40% of motor. Speed 2, do 75% of motor, and speed 3, do 100% of motor. I am actually liking that. I might consider a switch somewhere, maybe on a bike, not necessarily on a handlebar. So that's in the horizon. I'm thinking about it, so we'll see. But it would be nice, instead of, you know, you can ask like, why would you do that, right? So instead of going to the application and switching with the application, I can do it pretty much on the fly, where I can switch, you know, gear 1, 2, and 3, and it will give me those settings right away. But again, 100% speed forward from the motor. I believe if I lower that to 50%, I will also obviously lower the temperatures and operation of the motor. The problem is that if I do that, I'm back to where I was, which is weak motor, crappy acceleration, so on and so forth. So these are the disadvantages in this bike, or in a particular bike. I believe if I had the QS273 8,000 watt, I believe that motor will never overheat or even get hot. It will be warm, but it won't be hot. I know because my friend Tony, he's got the 8,000 watt motor, and he rips and nothing. Everything is completely fine. So it's nice. It's just my dropouts are 175 millimeters, and usually those motors are 155. So I'm not sure if that means that the axle is 155 dropout, or the width or the depth of the motor is 155 millimeters. So I don't know. I know that the lady was saying, oh, okay, so you have 175 dropouts, we're going to give you more washers. So problem is with the QS273, it's a little fatter motor, so you have to consider that might be a problem. Usually, where's the problem? The problem is at the brakes, right? The brake caliper. It usually shims or rubs against the sidewall of the motor. So I only think that's a problem because people don't switch the washers. They switch the motors, but they don't switch the washers. They put the same exact washers onto the motor axle, but again, the gap between the caliper and the sidewall of the motor has changed, because now the motor is bigger, is fatter, and it's just totally different measurements. So I think that's the problem. When I was installing this motor, I had no problem whatsoever. I shoved it into dropouts, I tightened the screws and nuts, and I was done. It was a couple of minutes, it was done. All right. So, but again, I went from again, this was 84 volts, and I wasn't doing 100%. I gotta do a test where I have everything 100% use, and see what my top speed is. Am I going to always use that 100%? That's literally impossible to use 100% all the time. That's why the switch 1 through 3 speeds I actually helpful and good. I totally understand people when they say, look, you got to have the switch because you give somebody to ride a bike, and I mean, there's no end to it. You start doing 55 miles an hour in a couple of seconds, and you have to be seriously responsible, especially when you're like within 5 bars, like a little bit more crowded bars. When I come to Queens or when I go through the city, you can't be doing all that torque nowhere. So I think what's going to happen is going to kind of even or balance itself out, where I am by my house and I'm pretty much continuously ripping. The reality is, going to work I will be ripping, coming from work I will not be ripping, but then when I get halfway through, once I get to my borough, I can pretty much rip for about 4 miles. So I just got to be careful. I was thinking about heatsink fins, see how that works. I can also do the thermal fluid or something to keep the wheel cool, the opposite from hot, steamy hot. So there's lots of options. That fin is like $80, and the problem is it probably will take forever to ship it because it's most likely in China. Oh, no traffic. When does that happen? So it's probably from China, and look, I'm not saying it always takes a long time to receive it, because I got a Kelly in about 5 days, business days. That shipment was $68. For the fins, it's $19. But again, mind you that these heat sink fins are not heavy. I'm not sure, they should be out of steel or something, where they actually take the heat away from the motor. I just don't like to be drilling holes in my motor, but I also don't want to kill my motor. That's the whole thing. I mean, especially like on a season, I don't want to kill on the season. Off the season, I don't care. I kill it. I just wait for the QS motor, and that's not a problem. It's about $600 with shipping, handling by sea from China. It's kind of funny because when you go to Alibaba Express, the least you're looking is $800, at least $800 for that motor. When you go to Alibaba.com, you're looking at $560 with shipping and handling. Okay, and Alibaba Express or AliExpress, you're looking at easily $800. This is only for a wheel. We're not talking about a salvage on controller. We're only talking about the wheel. So imagine this is an 18-inch wheel. So I'm not sure if I should get 18. You should guys comment down below if I should get 18-inch or 19-inch. 17 is impossible unless I wind it up myself and through the wheel myself, because that's considered a motorcycle wheel. However, I did see a lots of 19-inch off-road tires from Saran, where they're about 2.7 in width and 19-inch rim, and it's off-road rubber or tire. But if you look at, let's say, 18-inch or 17, you can go as far as 4-inch in width on a tire. The problem is you would have to go on a smaller rim. So you can't put 4-inch tire on a 19-inch rim, because your fork is just not wide enough, and it's wide as it is. It's just not wide enough for 4-inch, off-road tire. So I would have to go 17 and use a motorcycle tire, or go 18, kind of also off-road motorcycle tire. So you should guys comment down below, what should I do? Forget about 17. I'm not gonna be putting the spokes and trying to true the wheel. That's just too much work. I don't really want to mess with that. I don't want to get a bigger rim because the reality is, on a tire, or the description of the tire when you buy it, it will say maximum and minimum width of the rim, and like, the one that I'm looking at, better than Sharon's, it's from 1.6 to like 1.9 rim. So I have 1.6, which is the smallest one, so it doesn't create a balloon reaction, and you can, when you turn, your tire actually does what it's supposed to, which is keep on a track, keep the traction on. And with the U tire, you're not gonna be able to do it. Imagine if you have a tire, your rim this skinny, and your tire is this bulky, and it's kind of like a U. It'll slide all over the place, especially on sharp turns. So comment down below if I should get 18 or 19. Okay, and also comment down below how well, that I have to get into it, to be honest with you, with the carry. I have to see, but comment down below if I should put that, or I should install that 3-speed switch. And if you don't want me to install it on my handlebars, tell me where I should install it, because I do have the kill switch installed, and it's not handlebars. That I don't want to have it visible. And obviously the Kelly is installed, Bluetooth is installed, everything's installed. But again, if I have the 3-speed switch, I would be able to maneuver between low comfortable, medium A-OK, and of course top 3rd speed. I would definitely put everything 100%, so I can have that torque for whatever reason I need it. Sometimes you just need it, and that's usually not in the city, but sometimes you want to rip because I guess you're showing off your equipment or something. I've seen when I come off the ferry, I see a couple of guys, they took out the ferry, how great is the bike? I'm like, hi, listen, I don't have a doubt. It's a great bike. It's your build. You should be happy for it, just like I am for me. But now, when we come to stats, and we look at the sheet, and you have a 72 volt controller and 1500 watt motor, you're not gonna go too far with that motor. Versus my 5000 watt, 72 volt battery. So, but it would be nice to do that switch. Anyway, I gotta get out of here because I'm just revving, going back and forth, doing the same thing, sitting in traffic, not really doing what I gotta be doing. If we can get in home and relaxing, starving, I want to eat something like always. Probably get a little protein shake, either before gym or after gym. I had one today already. That was 50 grams. I work, so I'm actually might be good. Anyway, so make sure you comment down below what I should do for the switch and for the tire. Is it going to be 18 or 19 inch? I get 19 inch, I can do a Saran from the front, off-road. I'm looking at off-road for the back, but I don't want a small skinny shit. I'm sorry, that defeats the point of putting a tire. I want to put a kind of considered motorcycle tire, so it's thick and it's all good. I mean, even though right now my tire is thick, but I still got a flat tire because it's not off-road. I think off-road might help me or might harm me in regards of top speed. So comment down below for the tire, comment down below for the switch, and let me know what I should do. What do you think? All right. So again, subscribe, share, and stay tuned for another episode and see what's gonna happen when I tweak all these different changes. If it's going to save the motor, or am I going to shoot video or next the video next after this one and say, well, I blew my motor out. Knock it off the wood. Don't want to do that. Take care.